first instance of deep fake, if we can call it that, was perhaps Fast and Furious. If you've seen that,
Yes,
you
yes.
had Paul Walker,
Yes.
who had tragically died, but
Yes,
he
yes.
reappeared on screen.
Yes.
So it started from there. But look, the journey. I mean, just look at it. The journey that deepfake has had so far,
Right.
from Prime Minister Modi to President Zelensky,
Yes.
to the Queen
Yes.
Elizabeth, to the Pope.
Yeah.
There doesn't seem to be one person who's managed to escape it. However, a lot of people at this point feel that this is just something that impacts the celebrities or the known world. Could you lay or shed some light into how the deeper menace actually lies on crime against women, on how it can be abused?
No, it is not at all something which is very isolated. It is not on the fringe.
To the popular.
It is certainly not an outlier phenomenon. It is a very deeply divisive, deeply disruptive phenomenon. Misinformation always was. Deep fakes versus misinformation plus AI, or misinformation powered by AI, can upend families, can upend communities. It can create discord. It can create mistrust at levels and scales that are very, very frightening and scary. I mean, it is so easy today to create an authentic deepfake and to create divisions between two groups of people on the ground of religion or on the ground of something else. Yeah. It can. I have seen loan apps, for example, using deepfakes to threaten women. Yes. To paying back their loans. I have seen it in one of the ways that I was alerted to this problem of loan apps was a young cabin crew girl in a flight that I was going to Northeast, who showed me a video of how her sister was being hounded by a collector by morphing videos into a pornographic image and sending that video to everybody on a phone book. So there are many things that are deeply dangerous. It is the impact, the divisiveness, it's the power of the narrative that the video represents as well. Don't forget the virality of something like that.
If you were to define deepfake really for middle India right now, right? How would you say that?
So misinformation, which we certainly believed was one of the many harms that social media represented before AI came onto the scene. We were very worried about weaponizing lies, weaponizing fake information. All of that has taken on a new avatar, which is deepfake. And it is playing to almost a trend of the Gen Z and the youngsters, which is consumption of video. Now you marry the propensity to weaponize the bad by using misinformation and marry that with videos and deepfakes, and you suddenly have something that is a real threat to the Gen Zs of our times and Gen Zs around the world, which is that they will now have to really worry about what they're consuming. Is it true? Is it a deep fake? Is it somebody pretending and feeding us something that we should not be believing?
And what you're saying is clearly suggested by data as well.
It is important for the users to start also having a much more important and much more loud expectation from these platforms. That look, I don't want to be on a platform where I'm not sure what I'm consuming. If there's a video of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, or there's a video of Rajeev Chandrasekhar, or a video of Rashmika Mandana, I should know that that video is authentic. I certainly don't want to be in a situation where I am having to think 10 times about what I'm consuming as being real or something that cannot be trusted. So our entire approach is to make these platforms wake up, and we have done this from October 2022, wake up to the duty that we have to the citizens to ensure that their platforms are safe and trusted vis-a-vis the content on their platforms. And to make it clear to them that they have an obligation. It is not the government's job, nor is it the consumer's job. It is the platform's obligation to ensure that the content on their platform is something that is authentic. We expect, without any ambiguity, not to be drawn into a fake kicking the can down the road conversation about new regulations, which is what platforms love to have. They love to talk about the future of tech. They love to talk about the future of regulations, but they do not want to talk about today's regulation, today's law, and compliance with today's law. So that is my job, to remind them that there is a law, there is a rules, And while we can have all of the conversations we want about the future regulations, and yes, we must have it. We believe some new laws are required, new regulations are required, but we certainly insist that they comply.
How do we educate people on this?
I think you have to distinguish social media as being a public square versus a private space. And public square is where you are broadcasting to the rest of the world through selfies and everything about what you eat, who you're with, who your parents are, who your friends are, who your girlfriend is, who your boyfriend is. And some people, and most people, love that type of a feeling of the social media platforms. But that comes with its inherent risk. And those risks are only going to grow with AI and that type of technology. There are people who predate, there are people who scrape the internet. And the moment you are your information is out there in the public domain, you are essentially making your own life and your lifestyle more risky. If you're in a public square and you're displaying all the photographs and videos that you have without at least making them private, and then you go into this problem of having becoming a victim of deepfakes, then while you can blame the platform and you should blame the platform who hosts the deepfake, but you have your own personal behavior also a little bit to blame for it. The moment you go outside and dilute that concept of friends and family and start making it anybody who is interested in you putting a video about your food or your, whatever, then you are putting yourself at risk. And
so you're saying the concept of virtual family will come at a concept of a virtual cost.
Absolutely.
And you got to weigh the consequences.
Absolutely, because I cannot walk out into the road and say, you are my family, without having some sort of a dialogue and understanding that there is some basis for trust. But if you in social media just simply collapse that filter and say anybody who seeks a friend request, I'll just accept it, or vice versa, I'll go out and reach out, and then say no, but I got predated on, or I got my images got exploited, or my data got exploited, then in a sense you are asking for it. And so these are the kinds of things that platforms have to start disclosing to their users.